everyone. My name's Bonnie, and this is my great co-leader, Joe. And here we have Jeremy, Bellamy, Andy, Howard, Natalie, Aaron, Stephanie, Matey, and one of our other members, Catherine, was not able to be with us today. So this is the Brazil team, and we had an awesome time. We went to two different villages. We went to Assis, and we went to Floristopolis. And we worked with a ministry called Open Arms Brazil, which is really neat because this ministry was started by a man named Michael Myers, who actually originally went to Reston Bible Church. And he married his wife, his now wife, Patricia, and she's Brazilian. And when he married her, he started going down there very often. And while he was there one year, he had this vision with the child that he saw. And God just kind of woke him up from his sleep, and he just realized he needed to start a children's ministry. And now, like 14, 15 years later, he has this ministry that's now about 4 years in, I believe. And it's completely just driven by volunteers and support through funds that he raises both here at Reston Bible Church and also through McLean Bible Church too. But they're just doing great things for the Lord. So we had the privilege of going down there to help with a couple different camps with a bunch of different children and the underprivileged children. And they range from about 5 or 6 to about 13, 14. Once they reach about 14, then they're encouraged to start stepping up to volunteer to help in the ministry. And so that's really neat to see kids at just such a young age just rising up to be such great leaders. And so that was pretty much what we did. We also did some work projects as well. We helped repair chicken. We put up chicken wire fence. We completely cleaned out a shed. Our team was just awesome. They were just amazing workhorses. They just did the job and did it well. Howard, yes, Handy Howard. And we just had a great time serving together, and just playing with the kids was just such a joy to be able just to be a part of just interacting with them as much as possible. And we definitely went through some challenges, and so I think the rest of the team is going to tell you about those as well. But we just wanted to thank you so much for being here, and feel free to stop by our table afterwards. We have more pictures to show you, more handouts that we put together as well, so please come by and see us.
Awesome. So let's hear about the trip, like some of your high moments and just kind of what you learned about the global church and all that because of that experience.
A couple of the awesome things that we did, first of all, the camps were incredible. We really just had an opportunity to interact with these kids one-on-one, and we learned their stories much later in most circumstances, and the kids come from communities that are just like drug-riddled and really poor. Some people live in homes with like 12 different kids, and there's no parental figure, or if there is, it's like an older person who barely cares for them, but cares for them just enough that the child stays in that community. And like Bonnie said, what Open Arms does is they really try to work with kids up to the age of 14, because what they found through research is that for the most part, kids' ideas about morals and ethics and family life, and particularly faith and religion, is pretty much set by the time they're 14. And obviously, in many of our lives, we can attest to the fact that can change, but in a lot of those situations, the kids aren't getting any kind of leadership in those areas except through Open Arms. So it was really cool for us to just take part in their lives and even, fumble our way through communicating with them in Portuguese or in English with the help of translators. So that there are just so many moments. They sang the song "Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord," and they would sing it in Portuguese and then in English, and they don't know a lick of English. They don't even know how to say hello. So it was amazing to hear them singing it in their own language, which we could participate in, and then to hear them sing it in English too. And those are just really poignant moments for us just to experience that. I'm probably straying from the question.
That's fine. You're great.
But that, and then just this one family in particular that we stayed with in Floristopolis, they pretty much give all of their land over to these kids in the neighborhood. These kids have nowhere to go other than their house, and some of them go to school, but if they don't have school supplies, they just don't go. So these people have a soccer field on their land and kind of a paved soccer area that could be used for basketball, but they don't play that. So more soccer on the pavement, and the family just provides everything for these kids. They welcome them into their home, and they really give sacrificially in a way that you don't see much in the United States. So just to be able to help them, you know, like Bonnie said, putting up a backstop on their paved area and cleaning out the shed, spraying it for termites, scraping, painting, putting in shelves, reorganizing everything there, and it's pretty much full with just donations that people have given, clothing and school supplies and medical supplies. So just to see the kind of impact, and even, you know, I'm sure some of you guys in this room gave either financially or of your, you know, personal items or medical and health and school supplies, and just to see how that's used and how much the kids appreciate it was incredible.
Awesome. Somebody else that wants to share their experience?
I was just absolutely amazed that these kids had nothing, but they were so much richer than I am. I mean, I feel like I don't deny myself anything I want, and then being on this trip, I was just completely struck by that, and how it was absolutely amazing that they were completely content. Exactly what John said, they were completely content with what they had. And so when I came back, I actually challenged myself. And so for 30 days, I spent as little as possible, and I actually spent less than $100. I was like in the refrigerator, digging out the frozen vegetables. Amazing. I have just been amazed what Open Arms, the Myers family, have done with such limited resources. I mean, they sold their home in Reston, and they came and they sold their car to have more money to give to these children, and then, you know, their mom was taking pity on them and gave them another car, and they're thinking about selling that other car just so that they can have more camps and more, because their heart is just such in the community, and the resources, just God provides every which way. I mean, they get called up and say, we have 200 pounds of beans we want to give to your family, and or we transformed a paved soccer field area into an auditorium for 250 kids, and it was just absolutely amazing. They were worshiping with more love and vigor than you normally see around here. They just really were passionate for Jesus Christ and just the faith. And so in Mark 10, it talks about, let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. I tell you the truth, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. And so that was my favorite moment, just where they were 250 kids worshiping with a guitar in the front, and absolutely an amazing experience.